You're not supposed to ever be sick. Never. The body is a miraculous machine that has been created to take care of itself and heal itself if we don't interfere. But you make yourself sick. And if the mind is powerful enough to make yourself sick, it's also powerful enough to heal you. First we got to find out why. Why did you do this to yourself? What were you trying to tell yourself? Every disease is the body talking to you. Now cancer, most of the cases we have found, is caused by suppressed anger. If the person could just talk about what was bothering them, but they don't. They hold it inside. They always say, I don't have any problems, you're the ones with the problems.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you. I mean, for someone to what you're saying is they've got to take responsibility and say no matter how they feel about taking the responsibility, they've got to
talk about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it goes way back to childhood, but they hold it inside. So after a while, the anger begins to churn around, finally eat away at the organs and creates cancer.
But it must be hard for someone to take responsibility for themselves.
It is.
You know,
that's
to say
my,
that
that's my
they've
part
caused it.
As a therapist and a counselor, to get them to talk about it and we figure out where it comes from.
But when you become ill, are you saying then that every illness you've had, you've brought on yourself?
Yeah, but I don't get sick.
What, because you're more balanced than most
No,
people?
because I know how it works.
Right.
Once you figure it out, you don't get sick.
Okay.
One thing they told us, the side effect of doing what you love, what you're supposed to be doing, the side effect is perfect health.
So when you're totally in tune with yourself,
In tune with what you're supposed
and
to
what
be
you're
doing,
supposed to be doing,
you don't get sick.
not even the common cold, or?
Well, a common cold would mean you're working too hard. They want you to rest.
But you're talking about life-changing illnesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's amazing. They come from all over the world to my office in this little town in Arkansas.
But you know, someone watching this right now who can't afford that kind of trip.
I've trained hundreds and thousands of people all over the world.
So there's someone in this, near, you know, England.
I've trained many people in England.
Yeah.
And they're having the same fantastic results that I'm having.
Okay. Okay, so again, people can, you know, find your website from going to ours, which we'll put on later on.
And they're all listed on the website, and we tell them to go to these people and tell them they want them to use my technique.
What about techniques for, like, healing a broken leg?
Well, some things you do need doctors for.
No, obviously, you know, there's a procedure you have to go through, and you can, you know, push away mainstream medicine. But I mean, you know, if you wanted a quicker healing process, if you've had a really severe accident, then can your work help?
You can do it. That hypnosis will do that. It'll speed up healing. You can control bleeding. You control a lot of things with hypnosis.
Okay.
But in the method I use, we go right to the source of what it is. Why did you have this? What were you trying to tell yourself?
So, yeah, and like I've said, you know, it's all about taking responsibility for yourself. That's your message right now.
And there's a lot of forgiveness in there, too.
Is that the same for the people we bring into our lives sometimes? If we've had someone that's very, very hurtful in our life and someone that's not treated us very well, whatever the circumstance,
well, you know, that's karma that you are prepaying from other lifetimes. And you made contracts with these people to come into your life so you could work these things out.
But what kind of loving God would want you to sort of have pay back a karmic debt, though?
Why does God always get the blame for everything? God doesn't do it. We do it to ourselves.
But, okay...
you create the karma in the first place. God doesn't.
True.
In another life, you did things you shouldn't have done with somebody else. It's a law. It goes around, comes around.
Isn't that just part of the process of living, though,
Yes.
of having these different experiences? And if what you're saying, we agree before we come down it to, you know, I'll you know, help you with this if you do this for me, you know, whatever the contract may be.
But you know, when you get caught up in a life, we do things we shouldn't. Then when you're on the spirit side, after you have died, you go over your life and you say, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that."
Is there a wrong or right, though?
And then you say, "Okay, let's go back and do it again. We didn't do a very good job. This time you be the husband, I'll be the wife. You be the mother, I'll be the child." And you repay it.
So what you're saying here is that there's no external source judging us. We're judging ourselves.
We judge ourselves, and there's no harsher judge than you yourself.
So we are being our own God in that sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
You can't blame it on external forces.
No, no. So let's sum this up. Take responsibility for your own actions. Everything
Yeah.
that happens in your life, you take responsibility
You
for. That's
put
your
there,
message.
Yes. And then forgive those that have hurt you, and that's getting rid of the old karma.
That's difficult, though, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's difficult. None of this is easy. People have said, how can I forgive them? You don't know what they did to me. But who is it harming? Not harming them, it's harming you. And you have to come back again the next time with the same people in the same
Do
circumstances.
you have to come back?
Because you haven't got it worked out, have you?
Are you forced to come back?
No, you do it yourself. Because if you go through the life and have still not worked it out, and I've had people go through 3 or 4 different lifetimes and same people, same circumstances, when are they going to learn the lesson? When are they going to get it? They haven't got it yet, you got to come back and do it again. They'll tell me, I don't want to come back with them.
And again, these lessons that you're referring to are lessons that we've set for ourselves.
But they haven't. This is karma.
Yeah.
And I'll say you have to come back with that same person and do it again if you don't get rid of it now. Well, I don't want to come back with them. And I said, you better deal with it now then.
Yeah.
Or it'll be worse next time.
So in this lifetime, it is really important to, deal with our problems and try not. But then some problems we can't seem to sort out. I mean, if it's a family member that does not want to sort things out, you can't force
then it's
anyone.
their karma.
Okay.
You take responsibility for your part in it,
Okay.
forgiving them. You don't have to say it to them. Just forgive it
So
in
it's
your
just a
mind.
mental projection. There's no room to write a letter.
Then
as
it's
such.
their karma. It's their problem.
Okay.
It's off of you. That's the main thing.